safety and security, what we need to have access to our world. Prime Locksmith in the building here. AJ is going to talk to us about some important stuff. Stay tuned, everybody. Break intro. And it goes in like this and pops up faster than sometimes I can even snap my fingers. I have to understand why sometimes technology doesn't do what it's supposed to do. But hey, at least I wasn't saying anything crazy as the clip played a shorter version there. And I know it was because I did some other button that I didn't let it play out. But it looks like it came out all right because you look good on camera there, AJ.
Thank you, sir.
All right.
Appreciate it.
Prime Locksmith, AJ, and I have had a nice little discussion just in general about life. I mean, as a matter of what matters, right? What's important? How do you get things done? Even when your hair is sticking up sometimes, there we go. But I like what he said. The golden rule, let's start off with that. The golden rule. How many people know what the golden rule is? AJ, I'm going to let you say it again because you said it first earlier.
Hey, it's treat others how you want to be treated. Everyone has a mom, a dad, a brother, a sister. How would you want them to be treated by strangers? That's how you should treat people.
And it's so logical from the perspective that, like, if you don't treat people well, that will, the word, at least if you don't believe in karma, then at least the word will spread, right? Everybody has a reputation. There's this new thing called Google, the interwebs, right? People write things. Now, they will make things up, too, and that comes back on those people that are making things up. They can't do that for long before somebody catches on, like, hey, this guy's just making stuff up about people. But in general, the public likes to talk well about people. If they have a problem, I asked AJ, I said, we're going to get to this in a minute, but he's got over 400 reviews, an average of a 5. He said, no, there's a couple in there that weren't perfect. Can't control everything. I'm like, how did you get so many great reviews? Because he takes care of the problem. If there's an issue, not a single person on this planet can have 100% service where they never had a problem with any customer, any client. That's just not possible.
You live and you learn.
You haven't been in business very long if you haven't had finally somebody. How long have you been in business? 2 weeks. Oh, well, that's why you haven't had anybody that's caused a problem or had a complaint or whatever you want to call it. But that's where we'll get into this. So with that, we'll give a shout out. We always give we like to try to give a big shout out. I'm going to put the wide camera on here for everybody. Carroll House Furniture, because you like nice things, in your little castle that was likely safely secured, or maybe even if you had you lost the key that you had to get into the house. AJ might help with that, right?
I could definitely take care of you for that.
And your castle is also our big amenity towards your castle is your car or your work vehicle. All of those, and your business, all of those you help people with.
Anything with a key.
Anything with a key, everybody. I like the way he says that. If you have a key, he can get it unlocked for you. We're going to talk about that here in a second. But shout out to Carroll House. Also then, because you do like nice things in your little castle that we're at, Brooke likes my what I did there. You like nice things in your little castle, and that's what the name of the show is. But you might be investing in your future too. I had no idea. Our sponsor, My Metal Pro, I started researching gold. Have you ever done any research about gold and as an investment tool?
Not too much. I probably should have done more, but
it's just the investment guys don't want to talk about it because it's commodity. The commissions aren't so high on that. Is what I found out mostly. And so, I mean, it depends what you're in. You get in the ETFs or the IRAs and whatever. But just straight up gold, they're like, we're not going to sell that, man. People can just buy that without talking to me. I want them to talk to me, get my 1.5%.
Sure.
That's what these sales guys do. Sales guys, stock guys. Hey, man, I took the test for that back in the day. Went a different direction. And I have had many investment guys and good friends, but gold has become one of the best investments you can partake because if you look at the history of it, there's our gold cowboy. Is that fun? We just did an AI.
Very fitting.
I took an AI thing and I said, take my logo and make it into gold. And it gave me like 12 options, and this is the only one that I thought looked all right.
Hey, golden rule, golden cowboy.
There you go. I like that. I need to hire AJ to help me with my PR, man. Good stuff. But go to My Metal Pro. If to get some more information, you can get through to them through goldcowboy.com. Goldcowboy.com. Lots of great videos and information for you there if you want to start investing in gold, which you should be. I didn't realize it beat the S&P historically. In the last 30 years, it's been averaging right at the S&P or above. People are like, how do you beat the S&P? I can't get investment guys who can do it. There's $1 million winner for somebody who can beat the S&P. Gold beat the S&P.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
I did not know this. So find out information for your own sake. Go there. Gold Cowboy. Goldcowboy.com. Putting all kinds of cool information up for people now. Let's take a look and learn a little bit more about the awesome guest we have in the building here. Prime Locksmith. You've been doing this for a long time. You decided, hey, I've been working for other people. This is how it goes. I've been working for somebody else. I can do it better. Prime example. Prime, see what I said there? But I learned, I'm like, I can do it better. This guy's doing it better. Look at his reviews. Look at his website. I mean, he's on the ball. It's good to see people who are doing good things. Again, AJ, welcome to the show.
Thank you for the kind words, and thanks for having me, Cowboy.
Hey, well, hey, man, when you showed up at the studio, I'm like, there's a guy who looks like he's on the ball. Appreciate that. So you've been, tell me, how'd you get started? How'd you get into this to begin with? What was it you said? Oh, I want to be a locksmith. I want to help people.
Well, at the time, I was kind of lost in life and no real direction, and I had one of my best friends whose cousin was starting a locksmith company out in Los Angeles, and he was looking for workers. He was offering free training. I decided to shadow him for a little while and see what the work was about. I ended up really liking it, and a couple years later had an opportunity to come out to St. Louis and see what the Midwest is like. And the guy Simon, who actually brought me out here, he heard that I was living in LA, and he said, man, that's not real America. Come to St. Louis and see what real America is. And I came out here, got a hotel for 2 weeks, and right at that time, it was December 15th when I got here in 2015. And on January 1st, I signed a lease in University City.
Welcome to St. Louis, man. That's pretty cool. Now, when was that again, you said?
That was December of 2015. And
okay.
So
and then started
January
in the locksmith business, and then...
Well, I was working for Simon at that time. Yeah. And then eventually, right when COVID hit, I actually had my newborn in February of 2020.
All right.
And
got to really start working now.
Yeah, so I kind of took some time off of work because, we didn't know what was happening.
Right, yeah, it was a crazy time.
And in July, opened up my own.
So I can do this.
Yeah.
So now you've had your own place. How long has that been then? This is coming up on 5 years.
This is 5 years now. Yeah, we're July 1st today, so right about 5 years.
Right about now. Well, welcome to the Business Owners Club. You started way earlier than I did. I'm proud of you for that one in particular because...
Thank you, sir.
And don't get me wrong. Working for big companies, I worked for Anheuser-Busch for 10 years. There's a lot of fun to be had there, but you don't feel the sense of ownership until you've run your own company.
Sure.
And not, like, it all falls on your shoulders, right? You've got to make sure it happens. But you obviously, when we show you the reviews here, everybody, and just the overall website, we're going to give a little quick tour for them. What is it about this that fuels your passion, though, when it comes down to it? I mean, you're helping very vital. I don't know how many times you see somebody they are in a crisis, right? I've got to be at this event, and this car won't open. I can't, or my house. And tell me what it's like.
Man, I really enjoy helping people, and if I can help people and make some money along the way too, that's a win-win for everybody. Right? So I enjoy the technicalities of lock picking and taking locks apart and taking things apart and programming car keys, and there's obviously lots of issues that arise and you have to figure them out, and sometimes it takes longer than others. Hopefully you hope for jobs to be 20-30 minutes, but sometimes if it takes 3-4 hours, got to get it done too.
Wow. Yeah, I can only imagine. I mean, first off, can you help me with this? Can you unlock the key to some girls' hearts? That's a separate thing. Right? Working on that one. He's done well. He's a beautiful wife. And how many kids you got now?
I got 2 kids now.
2 kids. How old are they?
My son's 5. My daughter will be turning 2 in August.
Well, congratulations on that. That's
Thank
cool.
you. Appreciate it.
All right, so he's contributing to our planet by bringing in young, ambitious, and hopefully well-rounded kids, right? And I say hopefully because you never know what they're going to run into. But if it's a good parent, you keep them out of those trouble.
They have the best mother in the world.
There you go.
And she's doing a great job.
Yeah. Well, good luck with that, because I know out there it is a crazy world. We don't talk about the kids side of the world so much, but I mean that literally is that's the future, right?
Literally.
And so often, I will say this, and I'm not commanding anybody, but my mom was super strict. I did not like it, but I am so glad she was now, because I kept talking.
Hey, look at you now.
The discipline. People are like, yeah, Carter, you barely made it through. Boy, I tell you, I would have been completely screwed up had I not had a mother. Now, my dad was the guy that created the dream. Mm-hmm. Go do it. You can do anything. And my mom was like, you better watch yourself. And I needed both, right? So I think it sounds like you and your wife are doing a good job with that. Like I said, lots of fun for you. 5 and 2, just getting started. 5 years,
Yeah.
you've already learned a lot from a 5-year-old.
Oh, yeah.
And then they're going to get starting to grade or kindergarten.
Yeah, he's starting kindergarten in September.
Okay, cool. Well, good work. Then the business works into that. The reviews we're going to jump up here on show everybody because when you get, I mean, this is the example, everybody. And so I put it up here on the big TV wall. I'm going to make a wide view of that for everybody. But as you look up at what's going on in the world, you have to, especially when you're getting ready to make a purchase, reviews are critical. 407 reviews, everybody. Let me put this up here for everybody to see. See if I hit the right button. I'm going to try that one. I did do it. I had reversed my buttons there.
There you go.
We got it right. It says that one, but I knew it was the other one. So, hey, us computer guys, sometimes we have to straighten out our own computer technology.
Mental gymnastics.
But if you look here, 407. I told him I want to just randomly pick one. AJ was prompt and super professional. He was concise. He was concise with pricing, and I'm very satisfied with the service he did for me. No more worrying about only having one key. That one hits home. I mean, how many times I bought a car once, new, but off the showroom floor, and only one key.
Only one key.
And they're like, "Oh, we gave you the other key," and so I made it for 4 or 5 years. I like to keep my cars a little bit. How often is it though? One key. Give us some of the, if you would, give us a little of the trade secrets about how to manage your keys. What is the best, or don't worry about it, call AJ. What is it people mess up about their keys?
Well, if you get services done from us, I will always offer you a second key.
Okay.
Even if, we're just making one on the spot, I'll usually give you a discount on the second key as well. And, it's always better to have two than one, because you probably had a issue where you lost your one and gave me a call anyways, so.
I had I guess I'm the one key guy, because I had another car recently.
Mm-hmm.
Not when it was, what car was it? And they went, they had one key, they gave me, anyway, I had one key, but you had to have two keys to program the internal lock stuff.
Yeah, there's a feature on Ford called,
that's what it was.
Yeah,
Nautilus,
it's called My Key, where
Right.
it limits you, and you can't go over 80 miles per hour, can't turn your radio up, and you got to have a second key to remove that feature.
Okay, this was so that, because I bought the car used, I got a great deal because it was only like a year old, and its biggest hit comes off that first year, so my buddy was looking out for me. Thank you, Joe. But then to program the door lock thing, it had the keypad on the door. That's what I had to have that second key for. Is that true?
Yeah, that's true as well.
That's where that
Gotta
works.
have the second key. Ford makes things a little complicated sometimes.
He knows everything about every manufacturer. This is fun. But yeah, then the key, it did the job, and then I won't name the guys who sold it to me. Wasn't you, AJ? I apologize.
No.
I didn't. Anyways, connection I had, whatever, and it stopped working for some reason, like a week later. How does that happen? It's like it's a program thing. These things are
Cheap parts.
Okay.
Chinese parts.
Okay.
That's, cutting costs.
Right, saving a little money.
You know how it goes. You get what you pay for.
Right. And I don't recall, maybe that was my fault because I found one online. I said, "Can you program this?" I don't remember I did that. Might have been. And those guys, they should call us back. We'll fix it. No problem.
Okay.
Then we found out that my car was sold to me, stolen.
Oh, wow.
So I got a call from the Department of Revenue. And they
Lovely.
And they said, "We got a Cowboy. We know who you are. We love you. Come on over to the." And I'd never been there before because I'd never been in trouble. And else, but they have a vehicle inspection garage doors, and they bring it in, and they go. And my buddy was a police officer. He looked. He goes, "Check your VIN on your app, and then check it what it has in the car. And if they match, you're fine. If they don't." We looked on the app, and then we looked on the actual physical one, and he goes, "They don't match."
Uh-oh.
Somebody. But what was cool was the people that were responsible did come through, and they gave me my money back because we got it from an auction house, and the auction house was then responsible. So play by the rules. Don't try to do things shady, as they say.
Definitely.
And that's where you help people to say, "Yeah, you can cut corners. You can do things this way, but you're going to pay for it later." True.
Literally, I know because I was using those cheap Chinese keys for a while, and there's certain car keys like GM ones where, man, I would make a key for somebody, and then 2 weeks later they're calling me, "Hey, my key's not working." 3 weeks later they're calling me, "Hey, my key's not working." And it's like, hey, I can't keep going back to these customers to fix their keys. I want to leave them good keys. So I actually found a new American supplier that I switched to about, I want to say 2 to 3 years ago, and I have not had one call since.
And
on
it may
those
cost
keys.
a little bit more, but
It costs more,
it costs
but
less in the long term. Write that one down, everybody. Do it right the first time. We talk about that. Do it right the first time because you were doing it the first time, but didn't realize. And I get stuff from China. There's sometimes they do have lesser. And it's like anything. You can buy a high quality version. You can buy a lesser quality.
Sure.
It depends what you need it for. If you're going to do a one and done, not typically what you're doing with your car key though. Right?
No, definitely not. And with our car keys, we want to make sure that they last a while and that you'll never need another one after you get one from us.
That's the key to it, everybody. All right, stay tuned. We're going to take a quick break here for some fun we did in the community a couple months ago and share with you some exciting charity that does great work. We'll be back in just a minute. Will Bates, everybody. Will Be Inspired. Tell me about the event you got going on here.
Oh, we got a golf tournament today. Got some people coming out to support our military veterans and first responders. Everything that we raise today goes towards benefiting them, mental and physical health, overall wellness, wellness retreats, outdoor retreats, gym memberships. You think of it, you name it. That's what we do. So this is all to benefit them. I appreciate everybody coming out and taking action. Thank you.
We're at Old Hickory Golf Course. Been here for a number of events. Great crowd here.
Yeah.
How many people turn out for this thing so far?
There'll be at least 170 people here.
170 golfers, everybody. All right, if they need the Cardinal Cowboy to give out some free golf lessons, I might be doing that later. Don't wait for that.
Yeah, I appreciate you.
All right, man. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Giddy up. We'll see you guys. Giddy up. There we go. Fade out. There are so many good organizations in our community that do great things, and having the opportunity to work with Will there. I mean, I didn't realize St. Louis is a small knit community. Mm-hmm. He's like, oh yeah, I knew you back in the day when I was running security for whatever.
Sure.
And he served as a police officer. I think he was in our military. I'm pretty sure of that. But that whole event was all about the community with regard to suicide prevention and PTSD and all the
very important stuff.
EMTs and the guys that do that, because it literally is I don't want to call it an epidemic, but it's something that's been going on since the beginning of humanity. Mm-hmm. People don't want to deal with what's going on our planet, and then they make a decision kind of hastefully. I can't imagine, because I've been there. I've thought about it. I was in a coma. I was going to survive, and sometimes you're like, man, I can't deal with this. Find somebody. Take a minute. There is always somebody who will spend a minute to talk to you, and there's all kinds of suicide prevention lines. But take a good look, work with Will and those guys, and play in their golf course next year. All right, everybody. So that's one of the things we wanted to get into. But I want to also give a shout out. We have a lot of other communities things that we do, and we'll come back to that in a minute. But let's jump back into what we want to talk with AJ here. Give me the cost analysis. We kind of dabbled with that a little bit because there are, I guess, a few different ways that people can go about getting the key. But now, is everything electronic? Like, they all have little computers built into them. There's some door keys, I guess, historically. There's traditional metal, but tell me about that.
Most newer cars now have what's called a transponder system, which is a chip inside the key that sends a signal to a ring around the ignition that basically communicates to the car's computer to let the engine start. And that was actually a big problem with Kias and Hyundais, is that they did not have this little chip system in their car until recently. And so all you would have to do is kind of break that ignition and you can turn the car on, which is actually what was a big issue in St. Louis. And I believe the city of St. Louis actually sued Kia and Hyundai about it.
Wow.
Yeah, that was a big no-no. So they changed up and they caught on to the rest of the cars. And I believe in 2023, they started putting that transponder chip system in all their cars.
So they were saving a few bucks, but allowing that their $15,000, $20,000, $30,000 car could just be easily driven off by somebody who might be just borrowing it, right?
Sure.
I did at one point have some young gentlemen that were trying to get easy access to a car, point a metal object at my head that may or may not have had bullets in it, and say, give us your car. Tell me how crazy I was for this, but I had my key in my hand. All I had to do was like reach in and grab my hand, but they just kept telling me to give them. I said, no, My car
Uh-oh.
has my equipment in the back for my baseball. My baseball equipment's in the back. You're not taking it. My girlfriend, she's a model. She's standing there. She's screaming,
Uh-oh.
"Let them have the keys." I said, "No." Was that crazy? They ran off. I felt like crazy, but they said if they were going to get me, they were going to get me before I walked up to the car.
Sure.
And it was a couple of kids. And like we were like a block away from Union Station. Not to get,
Wow.
but I mean, and it's like this is such a random thing. But I've had other things happen more random out in the county too. Safety is so critical to our culture. I mean, that's really. Tell me about a little bit as we get onto a little bit of a tangent here. Why is it so critical to have these keys and access to it? Because I deal with Airbnbs. How often is it like there's somebody's stuff in there from the last guest, and like people they need access to the place because it's late at night, and they just even if it's a safe area, they don't feel comfortable outside. You know,
Sure.
depending where they're at. New place to them, right? I was in Florida, not much longer, really nice area, but I'm like, I still don't want to have my laptop in my lap sitting
No.
out here. I don't know. Key access. I mean, how quickly can these things be taken care of, and how often are you like in the middle of a crisis? You're helping somebody.
Yeah, I mean, especially for Airbnbs, the way to go is electronic locks. That way you can type in a code, get in, and you can change the code after every guest, you know, that you change. You can put temporary codes. You can put one-time codes. You can even use like a vacation mode where the code is set and only going to work for, you know, a weekend or a week. Right. And especially for Airbnbs, that is definitely the way to go is electronic locks.
And then do you help people to install those? Say,
oh, yeah.
I just don't fix keys that are broken. I come in, I'll install a lock for somebody.
Like I was saying before, anything with a key.
Okay. Okay, that's good to know because a lot of people may assume that just when they've lost their key, they call you. But you'll help them actually install one of those. We use Quickset.
Great brand.
And then there's
Schlage.
Schlage, yeah. Those are the two big ones, I guess.
Those are the two big ones in America, yeah.
Yale, a little bit.
Yale's good, yeah.
So you deal with all those. Yeah, I've done a little, and so I'm just hearing from the expert now. So that's another whole conversation we could have. But literally, like, I'm just trying to figure out who still does use keys when they're doing an Airbnb, and you got to like put the keys in a box and drop.
Man, that's
just like because I love the.
I'm assuming they're doing the old school thing where they got a lockbox on the door and they just give the code to the lockbox to open it and get the key and manually turn it.
Yeah, I had to explain to my mom. She's owned these particular. My dad went to heaven, and so she and I were talking. I'm like, Mom, I get it. Back in the day, there was no option for this automated lock thing you can control from your phone. But let me explain to you how much easier. She goes, why can't we just give him a key? I'm like, do you want to drive down here to do that? Are we going to trust the caretaker to do that? I mean, you can. We got a great caretaker. Shout out to Jose down there. But literally, like, this makes life so much easier.
Oh, yeah.
Would you advocate people put those just on their home lock, too?
Oh, definitely. I use them at my own home. They're, it's hands-free. Now you have the push-to-start cars. You keep your key in your wallet or your purse. You walk in, you type in a code instead of pulling your keys out, if you're holding groceries or holding your kids or whatever. And all you need to do is just type in a code.
That's cool. All right. And it could be now they have proximity sensors too. I've got one key lock. I get a little nerdy on it. I'm going to show them a couple of my key locks maybe. But it does fingerprint.
Yeah.
How many are those more cumbersome, or what do you think about the finger? It depends on the manufacturer.
They're not as common, but they are a great feature. You have to make sure you have a good one that works, because you don't want one that says that it works, but then
right, yeah.
all of a sudden someone else is using their finger on it and it opens.
Right. No,
I've seen that happen before too.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought for sure it would just either work or not work, but it works with somebody else's.
Yeah, I've seen that before.
If you ever
it's completely different. That's why they have your fingerprint if you get in trouble.
Right. I've been fingerprinted everybody because I had to get licenses. If you get your mortgage license or
your gun license.
Your gun license, that's true too. There, yeah. So okay, but wow. Talk a little bit about the proximity thing. Does that make sense? Have you seen these things where like it'll say I'm locking the door once you're a mile away from the house, and I unlock it when you're within a mile? Automatically.
Yeah, there's.
You better be getting home within that.
Yeah, there's apps now that work directly with the locks, and they can track your location and see where you are, see when you're approaching the house, and you can even. There's so many cool features on it that, like you were saying, you can unlock it from your phone.
Yeah.
If you got a guest coming over, you're out of town, they're staying at your house, 2 clicks, bam. House is open.
You need to get in, yeah. Go change the key, turn off the whatever. Those are awesome things. I guess what I'm really getting at now, where you really need AJ, installing these things is tricky. I've done the installation on them because
They definitely can be.
I built Microsoft Exchange servers. Everybody, like I can do some high tech stuff. That's my little niche. I'm not good at much. Just ask my girlfriend or my mom; they'll tell you. But the truth is, you better have some real technical skills. And 99% of the population, I would guess, can't do these things.
Yeah, I mean,
it's not worth it.
The more advanced they are, the harder they are usually. I will say with, generally the companies like Schledge and Kwikset, they're very, very good companies, and they will help you out if you can't do it. But of course, if you want the job done right, for sure, give us a call. We'll help you out.
And so, not just cars, not just retail, or commercial, I should say. Obviously, and I say, is your core business? Is it more cars or is it more residential? What do you?
I would say it's about 50-50. There's a lot of cars, a lot of houses. I personally specialize in cars, I would say now.
Okay.
But of course, I do it all.
Yeah. Well, that's what we need. Somebody can. If you're looking for an expert that can help you to get into your car, or your house, or your work, AJ is your guy here, and it's really cool to see somebody with the expertise and the dedication. And I just like the stories of guys starting off on their own, taking on the world. I mean, because it's tough out there. There's always some big competitor out there.
Oh yeah.
And that's who we want to highlight here on our show. Well, with that in mind, what would you say is the one thing that sets you apart? We got about 2 minutes left here. What is one thing that sets your business apart from the others that are out there?
Well, we're a local company, so I'm not using, these big call centers that are in who knows where, and you got some foreigners answering. And if you call my number, I'm the one that answers it. If you text my number, I'm the one that answers it. And I know St. Louis. I know all the zip codes by now. You just tell me a zip code, I can tell you where it's at. And I will guarantee that I'll get you same day service as well.
Wow, I had to put the hat on. Community stuff, we've got so entrenched in our conversation here, I forgot to put the hat on. But people that do good stuff in the community, we always want to represent. The Cardinal Cowboy stands for those who are doing good work in the community. And literally, I can only imagine. I'm excited to know you personally now, because I'm I can text a friend of mine now and say, hey, I want to pay you. I want this done, though. I need it done with somebody I can trust. Because so critical is it that we get access. Because sometimes lives are at stake. People,
sure.
Their CPAP is locked in a place, and they need that I'll never forget, my dad had a crisis like that. And I'm like, Dad, I'll be there. Let me go. I'm running to Walmart, and I'm buying a power surge battery with an inverter because the power had gone out. I'm like, my dad can't be without a CPAP. Then I learned later, he doesn't have to have it. It just keeps him from snoring. But these little things, we got to make sure, and we're usually much more serious than that. You've got somebody who's critical alert, and they need access. How many times do you deal with that when you're going, or at least getting to work, those kinds of things?
I've literally had calls where people go outside, middle of summer, they go on their balcony, their dog jumps up and locks them outside.
Wow. All right, stay tuned for everything else we got here. We're going to have another half hour with AJ. This is good stuff, everybody. We'll talk to you soon. Giddy up.